Yay, your offer was accepted, you are going to purchase a house, and now what? Stay tuned, we will start talking about what's happening right after your offer has been accepted. Hey, my name is Irina with Keller Williams North Atlanta, and today we will talk about what's happening once your offer is accepted. So there are practically two parts when you're purchasing a house. One, when you're touring houses and giving an offer, and the second one starts once your offer is accepted. Once your offer is accepted, this is the transaction that we are working on in order to get you to the closing table when you sign the deed and get keys for your new house. So today we will talk about what's happening once the offer is accepted. So once the offer is accepted, we are getting into the due diligence period. We used to have a longer due diligence period a few years back, between 10 to 14 days and sometimes even longer. But nowadays it was shrink to 7 days up to 10 days in most cases. Due diligence is a very important period of time when you need to do different inspections, checks on the properties. You can tour it one more time, of course, and you also can terminate it for any reason, absolutely any reason. You woke up in the morning and you decided you don't like this house any longer. So yes, this is the week when you can change your mind completely and you will not pay any money for that. But let's start from the very beginning. First thing first, once due diligence starts, the first thing that you need to do is to hire an inspector to do the home inspection. It's very good and very important to do the full home inspection that is done by the licensed inspector. If you do not have a home inspector that you know of and you can rely on, talk to your realtor. I'm pretty sure that they can recommend you someone. In addition to that, in parallel to that, you need to give it an earnest money check. The earnest money check is actually something that seals the deal. This is the initial deposit towards the down payment that you are going to pay in the end of the transaction when you are going to be at the closing table to sign the papers. And it's very important to give it at the specified time based on the agreement so the seller will know that you are still serious about it. If you want to know more about the earnest money, click here above or in the link below to get more information about that. The home inspection is out of your pocket cost and you will need to pay it before the home inspector gets into the house. Usually the home inspector does a very thorough inspection from top to bottom of the house, including getting into the attic, checking the roof, looking at the outside, and noticing all the small details about the house. In the end of the day, within 24 hours, you will get an inspection report that you can review, talk with your realtor, and see if there are any fixes that you would like to ask from the seller. It all needs to happen during this due diligence period, so you will be able also to negotiate the repairs with the other side, because seller needs to accept your request or negotiate some of the fixes they don't want to deal with. Sometimes you can ask for money in case you want to fix all these things by yourself, and maybe this will be more convenient for the seller as well. So it's absolutely up to you and the seller. And this is another milestone, very important one, to negotiate the repairs for the house that you are going to purchase. I recommend to do home inspection for all houses. New construction and resale all need to be inspected. You will not believe, but there are many items that can be found on the new construction house as well, but we will talk about that in a different video. I really recommend to come towards the end of the inspection to do the walkthrough with the inspector. So inspector can actually point out to specific items that he or she found, and if these items need to be repaired right away, maybe you need to budget for them in the future, or maybe everything is fine and this is a great house, a great deal, and you can just move forward. Some other things that you need to keep in mind when you are in the due diligence period. If this is a fenced-in property please ask for the survey from the owner, or at least the parcel map with the property lines of the property. You need to make sure practically that the fence is inside the property lines and it doesn't go to the neighbor's property, because it might be, in the end of the day, a big issue in the future with the neighbors. If there is any type of the easement, you need to get a proper documentation that explains that and all the rules around that. So you need to ask for that as well. If there is no termite bond, please order a termite inspection along with the home inspection. Many times home inspection companies can offer you a termite inspection for additional $50, and then they will give you a report. If there is a septic tank, or inspection of the septic tank. This is something that can really mess up the backyard or the side yard in the seller's property, but they have to allow you to do all the inspections on their property when we are under the binding agreement, and we do have an option to do the inspections in the property. If you saw in the disclosures that there was an insurance claim, you can maybe check through your realtor if there were more insurance claims from this owner that were done on the house, and what was the amount of the insurance claim. Because if it was disclosed that it was a minor repair, but then it comes out that it was a huge one, this is something that I believe you will want to know. If the community is part of the HOA, please ask for covenants and bylaws that you can take a look at them and see how strict the community is, at least so you will know what is required from you as a new homeowner in this community. In addition, of course, if you're an investor and you're purchasing a house in the HOA community, it is very important to do the verification that there are no rental restrictions in this community, or if there are rental restrictions, there's still capacity for your house as a new homeowner to rent this property out. Keep in mind also that you can do more than just a regular home inspection. There is a radon inspection, mold inspection, and now we are getting to the lead-based paint inspection. If the house was built before 1978, there will be additional exhibit that will be attached to the agreement, and you will need to sign it. When you are signing that, there is an option for you to waive your rights to do the inspection of the lead-based paint in the house, or you have up to 10 days to get it inspected. So these 10 days actually starting from the binding agreement, and they can go beyond the due diligence. So it means that if your due diligence only 7 days and the house was built before 1978 and you want to have the inspection of the lead-based paint, you can still have these extra 3 days. So it's very important, you can still do the lead-based paint inspection, and it can be done on any property or item on the property that might have lead-based paint. It can be also barn, she shed, or a detached garage, or anything like that. Once you are done with all the inspections and you negotiated, if it was needed, of course, additional items with the seller, in the end of the due diligence period, you will sign an additional agreement if you agree to additional items, and then you will move forward in your transaction to the next step, and we will talk about that in our next video. I hope that you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you liked it, please click on the like and subscribe button below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me to this phone number or email address that is specified in the description below as well. It was great seeing you. Have a wonderful week. Bye.